good evening, jammers, and welcome to the Jams and Cocktails radio program. I am your host, Brad Brock, and tonight we're imploring you to beach more and worry less. That's right. And the best person, I think, to help us do that is the man, the myth, the legend, award-winning, for real this time, trop rock singer-songwriter, Mr. John McDonald.
Hey, what's going on?
The crowd goes wild.
Great to see you. Great to see you.
Good to be here, man.
You guys, we're going to be discussing his brand new album, aptly titled Beach More, Worry Less. And, of course, here in the lounge is another special guest of piratical proportions. The one, the only, and the subject of John's latest music video, in fact, Captain Johnny Ringo.
Thank you very much.
Looking dapper as always.
Feeling dapper, Brad.
All right, you guys. And, of course, last but not least, certainly not least, here in the lounge as well, is the sugar in my tea, Ms. Jordan Taylor. Woo! She's back in the hot seat tonight. The opposite of the hot seat. So I have to tell you guys, Jordan over the last few weeks has begged me to switch spaces with Derek, who's normally sitting where Ringo is sitting, and because the air conditioner it blows right on her while she's sitting here, and it freezes her out.
Oh,
and
it's very chilly.
So
that's cool.
And I told her, I was like, you could put Ringo next to me, but there may be shenanigans.
Yes,
because Ringo, as we know, is the shenanigator.
I am the shenanigator.
Yeah, so
that's trending right now.
Hashtag shenanigator. All right. Well, you guys, as mentioned, of course, tonight we're catching up with John, discussing his TRMA win last year and his new album and his amazing release party, which I was so honored to be able to attend. So thank you so much, John, for having me out there.
Good to have you, brother.
We're also going to check out his latest music video for the single Last of the Sandwalkers. And we're also going to chat with Ringo about his upcoming events and goings-ons. We're going to have a round of Name That Tune with all of you out there and more. We also have some secret special guests that'll be joining us virtually to add to our already spectacular and jam-packed show. So I'd like to thank all of you so much for tuning in live with us this evening. I know we're going to have some new viewers and listeners out there, so appreciate you tuning in live with us on YouTube, Facebook, and on Shore Life Radio. Show us some love on our YouTube channel and smash that subscribe button and share this video with your friends if you like, so you have more people to talk to in the chats. It's really just that simple. As mentioned, we've got quite a bit to cram into the show tonight, so let's get this thing started with our cocktail of the week. What she said. All right, our shot. I guess it's kind of a shot. I had the vision of a cocktail, but Jordan, our esteemed bartender,
it's a shot tail.
Yeah, it's like a shot tail, I guess. But sex on the beach.
We've all been there.
Sex on the beach more, worry less is what I think we should do. It's a very simple cocktail, you guys, and it's a classic. Put in a little vodka, little pea schnapps, little OJ, and then you top it off with a little cranberry juice. You add everything but the cranberry. You stir to combine. You add the cranberry later to add a little color, and we didn't do any garnishes whatsoever, but that's okay. It's basically because I thought of this very late.
We can Photoshop the garnish.
Yeah, we'll fix it in post. But cheers to you guys. Almost a year to the day. Here we are sitting again in the lounge. And joining us for the first time, Jordan, of course. Cheers to you guys. Cheers to all of you tuning in with us.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for this cocktail.
You're welcome. I hope it's decent.
Oh, that's
why. The beach has very therapeutic effects. You don't want to hang around with anybody that dislikes the beach. I mean, you don't have to go there all the time, but by definition, if you're unhappy at the beach, you don't want to be with people like that.
Right.
What is your life?
Yeah.
Yes. Beach, please.
I concur. Beach,
Beach,
beach
please.
more, worry less. Beach, please.
Yep.
That's right.
And we only, hey, we're all working. It's not like we can hang at the beach all the time.
Well,
But,
speak
you know,
for- speak for
so there is a
yourself.
distinct theme. Sex on the beach.
This is great, Jordan. You did
Okay.
a wonderful job.
No, this is
Thank you.
delicious.
It's delicious.
I couldn't tell you the last time I had one of these cocktails.
Uh-oh.
I can't tell you last time I had sex on the beach.
Yeah.
The cocktail, I mean.
Join the club. I think either the cocktail or the interaction.
The interaction.
No complaining about the
Did he
sand.
say interaction?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if
The
you're
exchange.
if you're getting down and dirty, the sand is
It's
just
more like
the
down and
last thing.
sandy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably just run off into the water.
You know,
after,
years
huh?
back, they
Likely.
outlawed, there's an old beer, but they outlawed drinking on the beach. I grew up in Daytona Beach. You could drive your cars on the beach and everything, and they outlawed drinking on the beach. You know why?
I wonder why.
The girls kept getting sand in their slits.
Well,
Schlitz in their
I'm right.
Schlitz.
Yeah, Schlitz malt liquor. That's what we all drank back then.
Oh,
Oh, that one.
Thank you, Brad.
very nice.
Ah.
I'll
up
give
in
you
New
that.
England, we were drinking Narragansett, believe it or not.
I'm here once a year.
I've never
what is that?
heard of that. What is that,
Well,
John?
what?
Narragansett Bay is
Sounds
between
horrible.
Massachusetts
Oh.
and Rhode Island, but there was a beer called Narragansett. Boy, did my
Ooh.
older relatives drink that stuff.
So was it a local beer to
It
the
was.
area?
I think it was. I actually think it was like New York, New England, maybe. You know,
Ooh.
What was the name of it again?
Narragansett, as in
Who
Narragansett Bay.
Now, somebody sat around and go, what do we call this beer? Let's call it Narragansett.
Well, I think it's an Indian name, but it's the body of water off Rhode Island.
Oh.
It makes sense.
Interesting.
Geographical.
It sounds intense.
An Indian name.
Well, we were talking about
No pun
Schlitz. I mean,
intended.
although Schlitz
Nice,
was pretty
Jordan.
national. Schlitz was a national distribution.
Yeah.
That was just a regional distribution.
Ah.
I think Schlitz is still around.
How about this? Mabel, another black label. Talking about old beer.
Oh, man. Well, you guys join us each week for our shot or cocktails of the week by visiting our website at jnclive.tv and clicking over to the shot of the week link to see what we're planning and then get everything that you need delivered to your door by our friends at Drizzly.
Drizzly.
Yay, Drizzly.
Thank you, Jordan. we don't have Ellie here to
Even
to-
crickets drink it.
All right. Well, let's just dive right into it, guys, because we got a lot to cover tonight. It's great to have you back here in the legendary JNC Lounge, just shy, as mentioned, of a year later.
Wow.
And it's interesting. We have a lot to talk about that almost mirrors what we talked about last year. All these events are coming back up again.
Why don't we just drink and just replay
And
the show from
replay the-
last year?
We'll just overdub. Oh,
We're
the
so
2023.
I'm still getting paid my full fee, though.
Well,
Yeah, of course.
So last year, we had made a.
You're making me uncomfortable with your hand right there.
I was. Oh, okay. All right. Fine.
It's okay. It's good. It's just a sex on the beach.
I
and
know.
reaching
Well,
out.
I'm feeling a sense of community, you know. But so last year we were here and we released a brand new music video, the CODE Rum,
CODE Rum
song,
video,
which
yes.
was off of Islandology, and when we got like 60, 70, 80 of Ringo's friends from the Treasure Coast, Space Coast, and
I don't
beyond
even have 80
to
friends.
dress up as pirates, and we made the video. But I will say the new video to me is much more authentically. It is a pirate song. So
yeah, no.
it's a new video.
It's very good. I'm very excited to be able to share it, and we are, and we will, and we shall.
Stole my line.
But yeah, this is it's becoming a trend. I think the last time we were together a year ago, and the time before that, I was telling John earlier, I think was a year in between when we
Wow.
were at the old lounge, and so somebody check my math. I'm not sure, but I think that's what it was.
I can't check your math. I went
I'm
to a
gonna have
Florida
to
school.
I'm going to have to recalibrate my entire yearly calendar now because the deadline is going to be doing Wednesday night jams and cocktails in August. So
Right.
on all my songs, I'm going to have to write all
That's
my
right.
stuff, get everything done in order to get it done, and so we can celebrate it at jams and cocktails.
Yeah.
It all starts with
Well-
a plan.
I'll give you a little wiggle room, Everybody deserves a little bit of wiggle room. But speaking of new records, we were all actually just recently together, all of us except for Jordan. She was busy jet skiing. True story.
Wow.
True story. That's what was going
Is
on.
that what I was doing?
Yep. We were all together
Allegedly.
just recently for the Beach More Worry Less album release party, which is up in West Melbourne. By the way, completely amazing.
Yes.
I thought it was so awesome. A ton of cool people because I was there, and amazing musicians, and
Because I was there.
quite the unconventional venue. And we'll get back to that in a moment. But yeah, tell us about pulling that event together, and we'll talk a little bit about the record as well.
Well, simply put, I had anxiety. Well, that was I had a 10-piece band that had never done a gig together before. So it's my local regional band here based on the Space Coast. And then I decided, well, I want to do something a little bit different musically. So I contacted my good friend Joel Greenblatt. There's a large group of musicians, primarily horn players. They have a big jazz thing. It's Space Coast big band. So I said, I think I'd like to have a horn section. I want to do something different. So he agreed to do it, and I don't have one horn on the new record. So therefore, I said, let's do the horns. But, it's all about creating an experience live, and they're just great musicians. And then after the fact, we wanted to bring in a singer-songwriter to open the show up. And we actually had somebody lined up, and they weren't well enough to do it. So Donna and I, my significant other, we said, well, who the hell are we going to get to open the show up? And we have gotten to know Phoenix Mendoza in the last couple of years, and Phoenix has good friends in the area. So we said, and Phoenix is based in Nashville. He does the Nashville thing, great songwriter. And we said, let's see if we can get him down. I would love to have him. And great singer, and
Didn't he do stuff for Nitty Gritty Dirt Band?
Well, actually that was to your point. So not only did Phoenix agree to come down, and we set some gigs up for him for the whole weekend. He has good friends in town. But he said, guess what? So he called me back and said, I'd love to do it. I can do it. I can get a cheap flight. Great. But he said, however, my producer and good friend who I've been working with for 20 years wants to come down to play. Well, his good friend and producer is Josh Leo, who's a very well-established producer, number one hit songwriter, and also a perennial touring musician. Jimmy Buffett in the 80s, among other people. He was in Glenn Frey's band. He knows all the Eagles. And so that came together. And I said, all right, cool. So we put the band together with the local guys. But I got to tell you, I was only allowed to have one drink.
I do remember this, and
so
Donna was in full enforcement of this.
Insistent.
She went around to everybody around you and was like, "Listen,
yeah,
John."
No, and it's true because a couple of years ago we did a really nice release party for Islandology, and we did it at the beach. It was in May, and I got totally blasted. And then by the time our good friend Dan Jones, who we might talk to later,
he was well lubricated.
Everybody knows I need to be well lubricated, but when I watched the replay, when we were going to edit that and put it out and distribute some of the video to the show, I was like, oh my God, the show was an extra 45 or 50 minutes because I started blabbing. I was blasted. I had a great time, but I was, can I say effing blasted? Is that,
said it.
I
was blasted. And but the thing is, no, this was a 10-piece band. It was a very special event for me. So obviously I had to try to, stay in control and do what I could to direct the band. And but I frankly, I'll spill the beans. I had a little bit of anxiety, but
it didn't show. And getting back to the lubricated thing,
okay,
I got to tell you, Brad. We walked up to the bar and Brad got a drink. I think you were drinking. Was it Jim Beam on the rocks?
Yeah, I was just drinking
double.
I was just drinking Jim Beam on the rocks.
He got a cocktail that was this much Jim Beam, literally, and it was like $7.
Yeah, it was so cheap. It was unbelievable. We're going to talk about the venue too because I was blown away by the prices.
So cool.
But to your point, Ringo, they first gave me a little bit of ice and put the Jim Beam in, and it went up about half of the solo cup, and I was like, "Nah, buddy." I was like, "You can go ahead and fill that thing with ice." I was like, "I need to sip on this for a while." And it filled, when he put the ice in, it melted so quickly that it just was a full cup of just straight liquor.
Then when he finished Brad's drink, the bar tilted.
The earth tilted was really what was going on.
Axis.
Yeah, carry on, John.
Oh no, but the nice thing. So obviously, it was a couple weeks ago. It was in July. So again, I have to give credit where credit is due, and that's my wonderful significant other. That was Donna's idea. We rented a movie theater at the CW Cinema World in West Melbourne, and we were looking for a venue to do this. And again, I wanted to make it special, but however, by virtue of the fact it's late July, got to do it inside, need air conditioning.
Right.
Need air conditioning. So, but she suggested this, and I said, oh my God, at a movieplex? I mean, seriously? And then we went there, we had a meeting, and then I saw the space, and I said, oh my God, I love it. And then immediately my mind went, well, if we're going to do an album release in a beautiful theater, like stadium-style seating, we have a state-of-the-art massive screen. We're going to utilize the screen. And Dan put together some really nice streaming stuff. We premiered on the big screen. Captain Ringo finally made the big screen.
Yeah.
We actually showed the new music video on the big screen. I got to say, it was pretty amazing to see that
was
thing
cool.
on the big screen.
It was pretty cool.
I'm used to seeing it on my Mac, like 17 inches. This sucker was like, oh my God, it was like a movie.
Amazing.
Ringo never looked so good. It was phenomenal, man.
Aw.
It
You-
was pretty cool.
you look
See,
like
I
a
mean,
movie star.
I've always known that Ringo has a big head, but man,
Oh
was
my
it
God.
large on
I
that
need a
screen.
screen that big.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, the venue turned out to be really fun, and I think we exceeded expectations because it was really comfortable. The bar was there.
That was
Very
helpful.
important.
There was
Yes.
some food there if people wanted it, but now it's like 3 or 4 people. Hey man, I've gotten 3 or 4 calls. Can you hook me up with the manager there? I'm thinking of doing an event. I said, all right, knock yourself out. But it was a really comfortable spot. We almost it was 200 seat capacity. We almost had it full. I don't know if it was quite full.
It was close.
It was close, but and it was just a really nice theater. And by the way, during the concert, I started to hear a rumble. And I actually thought Ron, the bass player, had an upright bass. And he was playing something. And I said, oh, wow. I was looking at the sound guy. And then I realized, no, that's thunder. This is a damn rainstorm.
It was totally monsooning outside.
But it didn't bother anybody inside. So it turned out to be a wonderful venue. And I could have never anticipated that.
Yeah.
But it was a nice stage, and we utilized the screen. It was great.
It was awesome.
It was a great spot. Kudos to Donna
Yes.
for pulling that off.
Maggie, baby.
And I miss her. I actually last time you guys were here,
She was here.
Donna was here,
Yep.
and she was like, I don't want to be on camera. I was like, well, I have some bad news for you. If you're
Guess
here,
what?
you're in the show.
Guess what?
she bailed.
She was very busy with the little ones,
Yeah,
And we left
babysitting.
the space here because we're going to actually Photoshop her in before the show re-airs.
we're gonna add her in post.
Yes.
Oh man. Well, beach more, worry less. That's what the whole event was for.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it's become my life mantra. So
Hey, I hope more people jump on that.
right. So tell us a little bit about this record. We were talking a little bit about it off here, but yeah, just give us the take.
Well, it's funny. I have told everybody, and I'm not kidding, I broke a record making a record because normally this is a several-year process. We put out Islandology in 2021, and you kind of incrementally, sent it out to the different platforms, Shore Life Radio,
Right.
everybody in kind of tropical Americana, trop rock, and but I just, Rick and I is my primary collaborator. We've been working together for a long time. And he's really into the beachy tropical thing now. He had no idea what I was talking about. And he's up in Nashville, middle of January. It's cold. He said, hey man, let's do some beachy stuff. It's like mind over matter.
Right, sure.
That's why I was in Pennsylvania. That's how I really kind of get into the whole, and I think that's the appeal of Jimmy Buffett, frankly, among other things. A lot of people in New England, the Midwest, and you have 6 or 8 months of winter. They want a little bit of Florida. They want a taste of Florida. But
See, that's what I call tropically impaired. That's
Yeah.
my version of tropically impaired, where you're stuck up there in the freezing cold, but you want to be down here with us making beach music and hanging out, drinking sex on the beach.
But if
Yeah.
you pay attention, you realize, according to Forbes magazine 2 months ago, Jimmy Buffett is officially now a billionaire. Margaritaville is perhaps the most expensive song title and trademark in the entire music industry.
Wow.
Go figure.
Go figure.
But that's what they said in Forbes magazine.
So he's officially a billionaire now.
Yeah.
I guess he won the bet.
Well, I'll tell you what. Well, and therefore the appeal. Hey, listen, all of us who grew up in the Northeast and Ohio and Michigan, well, where do you want to go for a week if you can do it? If you want to, Florida or the Caribbean,
Right.
Yep.
100%.
Yep. So beach more, worry less. So we wrote it, and actually, it's getting to the point where the easy part is writing the songs. In a sense, it's trying to like schedule everybody and get the musicians together. Now, this time, what happened was Rick and I wrote the songs, and we've been working together for a long time now, and he kind of knows the vibe and genre I'm in. So we work, I bring the idea, I develop it, and then we craft it together. And then, but it's all of his people who are on the record. It went back and forth. I did just, for those of you out there who want to pull the curtain back on the creative process on this album. So by the time we wrote the song, I would just do a very simple acoustic guitar vocal on the iPhone, and I'd send it to him. And I sent it to Rick's guy. His guy's name is John Willis, superb studio musician. He's just fabulous. And he said, no, I don't need anything elaborate. Just send me a general idea, write up a couple notes. And so we'd figure out the tempo. I would send him that. He would sit down in 3 or 4 hours, create like most of the tracks, send it back. I would do a fresh vocal. I recorded in Merritt Island up in the Space Coast with Kevin, my drummer and audio engineer. He has a nice little recording studio in his house. I did the vocals, sent them back, and then John would take care of. He would add all the riffs and all the musical embellishments. Then but he's Rick's guy, and we used a couple singers up there, and that was the whole process of creating the album.
It's so wonderful living in the future, where
Amazing.
you can just Dropbox audio tracks and get everything. You never back in the old days. It was like Sun Records. You had one take, and that was it.
Old tape, man. They have the old tape. But there is an advantage when you're working with somebody in a studio because you can kind of spontaneously react to what they're doing. But in this case, I said to Rick, well, this guy's a really good musician. I'm just going to let him do his thing. And he basically said, well, listen, I'm going to add a lot of parts so you can selectively, whatever you like, whatever you think works well with the song. But the guy, I'm telling you, he's a brilliant, superb musician. So the guy, my good friend, ultimately the other end of the process is, you got to mix it and master it.
Sure.
So my good friend of many years, Gary Vincent, great audio engineer and producer in his own right, multiple Grammy nominations. He does a lot of work in the blues genre, Americana and blues. But he said, oh man, this guy's good. He said he gave me a ton of stuff. It took him forever to listen to it, though. So John,
he's a slow listener.
Yeah. So it all came out, and the bottom line is every time I work with people, in musicians like we did with the album release a few weeks ago, or in a recording project, you got to kind of let people. You have to have some trust, and you got to let them do what they do. I as the artist, and Rick is the primary producer. As the artist, I want influence, and I want to. Yeah, I like that. I don't want that. But you got to let people do what they do and get the best out of them.
Yeah, 100%.
That's true. A lot of you talking music. A lot of people don't know this, but when I was 13, I signed a record contract with Columbia Records, and people are closer my age will remember this. But yeah, I signed a record contract with Columbia Records. Had to buy 10 albums in a year.
Well, okay, I was signed up for that.
Remember that? You used to use other people's names, and you get the albums for free.
Actually, I saw him last year on YouTube.
Before you guys' time
on YouTube, somebody told me. I told Captain here. I saw a video of him on YouTube last year, and I was like, he blew me away. I said, "Holy moly! I don't know if you were blasted, but you were with some band."
I was definitely blasted.
He was jamming with some band, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is
that
great."
was in Isla Mirada, Florida.
Was it his air guitar?
World famous tiki bar.
Or he was actually playing?
No, you were. I'll tell you what.
This
If you weren't
full
actually
band blowing away.
Oh no, it was you were doing a Ted Nugent thing.
Video's
man.
got like 12 million
Wango
views.
Tango,
it's crazy.
maybe.
It's crazy.
Wow.
So, we know that the Captain is infamous for his rum. He has Mango Tango, which is delicious. However, Is there not a Ted Nugent song called Wango Tango?
That's where I got the name from. I got permission. We were talking before we came on air about I have a wristband that Ted Nugent gave me. Well, he didn't give them to me personally. He threw it out and I caught it.
And you caught it, sure.
Hey, if you're gonna,
I like to say when I tell a story.
No, come
when
on.
I tell a story, he gave it to me.
If you're gonna drop names, no. Ted gave this to me.
He signed it.
It's okay to embellish a little bit.
Sharpie.
Sure.
But he spelled it with 2 D's, T-E-D-D, so whoever signed it.
The Motor City Madman. Yes,
anyway, you were saying.
No, I'm just saying. So anyway, that's the album, and that was the event. And I'll tell you what, it's funny. We people really, it's like we were talking like this album and this. It's very difficult. Frankly, I can't be objective. When you do something, you want to connect with people, you want to entertain them. You're hoping they like some of the songs and appreciate what you do. All artists, all of us want that. But it's really hard to anticipate if people are going to like it or what songs they're going to like. But everybody's really, in the last 2 months, man, everybody seems to, they're telling me, wow, it's even better than the previous ones. So
It's absolutely true.
I'll take it.
Yeah, there's so many great tracks on here. We got a little taste of one of my favorites, which is the Haves and Haves Yachts.
That's right, the Have and the Have Yachts.
There are some really clever song names on this too, like Party Like a Flock Star.
Yeah.
And these are all just
creative.
It's a great record, man. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you so much.
In fact, last time you were on the show with us, I misspoke on your introduction, calling you an award-winning trop rock artist. And
Brad has not let himself.
I was a nominated artist, which is nice.
You were only a nominee.
It's very nice to be nominated,
albeit nominated in 8 categories. But here you are, sitting here today, the winner of the 2022 TRMA Award for Single of the Year for Islandology. So congratulations!
Crowd goes wild.
It is nice to be. I'll tell you what. It really is very nice to be recognized. No doubt about it.
I recognize you as soon as you walk through the door.
I know. Well, you have good facial recognition. No artificial intelligence
it's
with
an
you.
App.
It's an app. Oh man,
Ringo doesn't have to worry about AI.
Hey,
no artificial intelligence with you.
Oh man. I think this year's nominations have yet to be presented for the TRMA. But I know they sent out the pre-ballot to the members to get on the ballot, right? So
that's right. It's a 2-step process.
Right.
And by the way, congratulations, you were on there, being syndicated with
we
Shore
were,
Life Radio.
We were on the
Our good friend Millie Marie.
So Millie Marie Taylor for Shore Life Radio. So
thank you, Millie.
Shout out to Millie.
Yeah. Whoop, whoop. Very excited that we were even brought into the idea.
Yeah, I got the ballot. It went out, and I was looking at it. I said, "Wait a second, Wednesday night jams and cocktails. That's Brad. Wow,
it's me." I was completely shocked, and so if you're out there and you haven't voted yet,
well, that was the nomination round.
Vote for jams and cocktails.
The votes closed up on
20th.
August 20th. And our good friend Mark Friedman organizes the TRMA, and he puts all of this together, and he will announce the finalist September 1st, I believe he said. So
yeah,
nice.
well, it's all a balloting act.
It's all a balloting act. Okay,
I'm done. I'm done with you.
We're gonna take a short break.
September 1st. No, that's great. And even if we don't give it on the ballot, just to be
it's nice to be nominated. It's nice to be on there, and it's just,
it was really really nice.
It's really, it's really incredible how this genre has developed, and there's a network of people. There's a lot of people who work really hard. There's people who have radio.
And there's us.
I know, and there's us. We are the beneficiary, but there's an expanding network of people who host house concerts, Florida all the way up seasonally throughout the United States. There are festivals.
Speaking of, let me give a quick shout out to Sam Densler, who does a lot of house concert stuff.
He certainly does.
Great guy. He awesome.
He was on the cruise with us.
He was on the cruise with us. He went treasure diving with us as well.
Yeah.
So shout out to you, Sam and Gina.
Yeah, nice.
Songwriters Island, yes, indeed. But it's very hard to monetize this stuff. So there is a big group of people, in different capacities, including people who have, interview shows, people who write about the genre. So if you're an independent singer-songwriter and you kind of like this vibe, it's nice to have some kind of outlet. There is a structured organization. And by the way, the TRMA, one of the really cool things and nice things they do, they have the TRMA Artist Relief Foundation, and they help a lot of people who need help in the way of artists who have, medical needs or whatever. So they raise money.
Did they do stuff for you guys during COVID?
They did. I think they actually started early in COVID. I mean, I can tell a 20-second story. I had an issue with my voice. I had to take some time off. I had a polyp. I had to have surgery, and I lost a lot of gigs, man. And this was available, so I filled out the paperwork, and they were able to help me a little bit, and they gave me financial help and a grant.
That's awesome.
So I am a beneficiary of the Artist Relief Foundation, and I very much appreciate it.
That's very cool. Yeah, no, they're doing really good work. And we talked about this last time we were together, like how the genre has grown and it's become more structured and organized. And, and I think that's very cool. And I feel like in a lot of ways it's unique to independent genres. I feel like it's a more... And you wouldn't think about it, a bunch of beach bums coming together and really putting together something nice. But it's one of those genres that have really pulled together, and the artists support each other, and the fans are just diehard. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, they're passionate, and they love, and there's a big population of them who are willing to listen to your own material. This is the essence of like the house concert format. It's a listening environment. I really enjoy entertaining people. I like to be an entertainer. I also consider myself an artist in the sense I write. But at a house concert venue, you're expected to do original music, and it's really nice because people come there expecting that. You can add a couple covers in, but listen, I have never stopped playing bars and clubs. I have a rotation of places I play, as you do. And I love to do that, but what's really gratifying is to be able to go to a venue where people are willing to sit down and listen, and I get to play all the songs off the new album.
And they came specifically to listen to you.
That's right. It's not a bar or restaurant. I'll tell you what, bar gigs are great training, man. If you can work in bars, I mean, you've got a great audience.
True.
That's where I learned to drink at.
It's
church, but.
Oh, yeah, no, there's a lot of good training that occurs in fine establishments.
Oh, boy, Lord knows I've put in enough training hours, that's for sure. I could fly the plane with as many as I put in. So, John, when's the next big show?
I'll tell you what, the next big thing, I think later we're going to chat about this, but the next really thing I'm looking forward to is I always have a rotation of places I'm playing. So if anybody's on the East Coast, as we like to call it, the right coast, So
right coast.
We're just so everybody knows, I'm about an hour north of where Brad is located here in Port St. Lucie. But I play all along the coast at various venues on the Intracoastal and the beach. But in September, really, really excited about this because we did it last year. I'm doing an event called Riverfest with Captain Ringo and also our good friend Jesse Rice, the master of the pirate song, and we're going to be out on a little boat on the St. Johns River.
Yes.
So that's in September. So that's a really cool event. I'm gonna play for a couple hours and then we're gonna have dinner and then I'm opening up for Jesse, and that's gonna be really cool. And then along with the typical gigs I play, I'm going up to Meeting of the Minds. That is the big annual event, and this year it's the first time it's ever been out of Florida. It's in Gulf Shores, Alabama. That's in late October, and that's where...
It's usually right after Fantasy Fest, right?
It is. It's usually
a week after.
Yeah. But they're actually in Gulf Shores / Orange Beach, Alabama. And then I'm going to Texas for 2 weeks. I'm going to do some house concerts and a couple venues there. And my next big event actually is New Year's Eve. We're doing New Year's Eve up in Melbourne. So,
nice. I remember you had mentioned this... it's so funny, and I'm gonna call Miss Donna out real quick. Because I feel like everybody needs a Miss Donna in their life.
Hello.
Because towards the end of your CD release, there was clearly a laundry list of mentions that you were supposed to be mentioning. And
that's why I had to stay sober.
And then you'd be like, all right, and now we're gonna, and she'd run up and whisper in your ear, and you'll be like, "Oh, by the way, this and the
right.
or not Thanksgiving, but the New Year's Eve event
that's
was
right.
one of them."
Mention that.
It was so funny. I was like, "She is on it."
Oh, she is, no doubt about it. Thank God.
And let me tell you, man,
I need somebody like
it's
that.
really special because you were performing. Ringo and I and Dee were all up. We were at the very, very tip top, because we're the bad kids. We sit in the back.
I kind of noticed,
They always put us in
actually,
the back.
you had the premier seating, but then I noticed you guys up there
Yeah, we
at
were
one
all,
point.
yeah, we were,
And you were
all
stretched
in the
out,
back.
just drinking, and you looked comfortable.
We were hanging out. But it was it was special because we got this really wonderful. In fact, while I'm telling this story, I'm going to pull up. I'm going to pull up some a little photo montage of the events there. Let me see if I can find it here. There it is. Right? Is that it?
Let's see what we got here.
And Jordan, you were missed.
I know.
You're
I was breaking my
There
back.
it is. There.
Jet skiing.
So there's the movie theater with the whole band. That was a
Ooh.
big band, right?
Yeah, tell me.
And the lobby there.
Hey,
so,
is that me?
Oh, I see the luscious
so,
locks.
yeah. So what's so funny is we were up on the very tip top, and we got this really wonderful bird's eye view of everybody just enjoying themselves. It was really nice. And down in the corner, manning the merch center,
Yes.
You just see Miss Donna throwing it down, dancing, and just having this wonderful time. And I was like, she is so into this, and I love that.
She's one hell of a dancer,
Jordan
too.
never dances, and so we
I do.
got to live with that.
Take me home.
If she dances, she's
Well, as I
Yeah.
say, Jordan, one needs to be well lubricated to
Yes.
kind of
To let
to
the
really
freak
perform
flag
well. Yeah.
fly.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
your freak
Yep.
flag fly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Say
I'm
that-
dancing,
Yeah.
Say that
It's
3
time to go to
times when
bed.
you're.
So, by the way, this is
lubricated.
a slideshow, a collection of shots. Our good friend Holly took a bunch, but everybody, I kind of grabbed photos. All kinds of people were taking different shots.
oh yeah, these are great.
And some of
Brad
our
and I
friends,
took a
there's
few
Josh
shots.
Leo.
That was Brian Burns there.
By the way, there's Brian by the way, how about Renee Adams from Radio Margaritaville? She was kind of the MC. And
There we are.
oh, there we
Oh,
are.
stud muffs.
Oh, look at there he is.
Oh, yeah, it was.
what
shots
a
of
great
the-
turnout.
It was a really, really nice
Yeah.
time. And again, thank you so much for having me. I was up in Orlando seeing an old friend, Jordan and I, a friend from Australia, happened to be in town one night only. And I was like, there's no reason why I should not be going to this event since it's literally off the highway
You
on
were
my way
going
home.
by us. You
So,
know. I'm glad you stopped, Brad. Thank you.
Oh my God, it was a great time. And
was-
for
it was
$7 drinks, you can invite me anywhere. But no, John,
He took the rest of his drink home in a to-go cup.
I know. Wow.
it was really a wonderful time, man.
Thank you.
So nice.
And as you mentioned earlier on, it was also the premiere on the big screen of Last of the Sandwalkers
Yes.
with featuring the Johnny Ringo.
That's
so,
right. Yeah.
I feel
It
like
was a lot of fun.
we should probably get into that. I know we're waiting on a couple of our phone guests to pop into the chat, so maybe we'll stretch it out just a little bit. We're running fast, which is unusual for this particular type of show. But I guess before we show it, let's talk a little bit about the video, and we're going to get Dan on to talk even more in depth, who kind of filmed it and directed it,
yeah.
and he also directed the CODE Rum video as well, correct?
Yeah, we have worked in recent years. Dan has actually worked with me in all my music videos. So
Nice.
And again, it's really hard to anticipate how things are going to come out. But I'll tell you what, this video really, frankly, it came out even better than I would have anticipated. I think, from my point of view, it's
honestly, John, when I saw just the teaser trailer that you put out a month prior, I was like, this is great. Like, Ringo looked good and
Photoshop.
and
Hard to
mysterious
do.
and like it was so serene. And I'm gonna have to ask you guys, what what the hell time of morning did you guys have to get up? It had to be the
Dude,
crack of dawn
it was
because
early.
there was no one on the beach.
I am not a morning person. I'm like a 9:30, 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh my
depending on
God.
the day, and I had to get up and drive to Melbourne Beach.
Yeah, he did. We chatted about it, and by the way, man, he was really Dan and I kind of plotted it out. We had a concept and an idea. We sent it to Ringo, and man, I'll tell you what, you really, I mean, you were a trooper because
I had to just walk up and down the beach.
So we was that like May.
It was hot.
I'll tell you what, but it wasn't even the heart of summer yet, and he had his pirate gear and his costume, and who has, frankly, I mean, really, who the hell has better pirate gear than Captain Ringo?
The cool
It's
part
true.
was that I
It's true.
just had a new jacket made, and it was a Florida summer coat.
Oh
It had
man,
no
it was
lining in
killer.
it. And
Well, that's kind of nice. At least you had it was made for this weather.
yeah, shout out to Jennifer who made that coat for me. She's awesome.
No, it was beautiful. And when you do a music video like this, I mean, listen, if you have all kinds of money to burn, I mean, you can do anything and everything. But most independent singer-songwriters, let's face it, you're regional artist, you're working with a limited budget at best. So I was kind of looking at the songs, and there was just something about this song. After I wrote it, I listened to it, and I said, well, it's what I was saying to you guys. Most of this album, it's a feel-good, up-tempo kind of thing. It's a party kind of thing. But this is the one song in a minor key. So it's kind of, you want a song that contrasts with everything else. But it's very much a story song. And I said, well, a lot of the other artists who tend to create videos in the trop rock genre, it's a real party beach kind of thing.
Sure.
And so, but I just decided, you know what, it's an artistic statement in the sense it's a story. The song it's a little bit more serious than a beer drinking kind of theme. And I said, I'm just going to do it, and it will come out how it comes out. But Ringo is great. And I figured, well, let's do something where we don't need a lot of people. Like when we did CODE Rum the previous year, we had a whole bunch of people dressed
Right, there was
up,
quite a few
Yeah.
people for
and
that.
it was a fun party.
At the old fish house in Grant, Florida.
That's right.
Shout out to the
Shout
old
out.
fish house.
But this was it was a simple idea. And then I thought about it. I said, holy moly. I said, okay, it's kind of a pirate theme lyrically. And then I immediately thought of the captain here because, and I said, well, let's do this. It's just Dan, myself. Dan had a helper. We kind of plotted it out. I sent an email. We talked about it. Sent you the song and the lyrics so you knew what you were getting into. And then Dan he did a storyboard. I mean, he'll talk about this, but
Sure.
he really kind of plotted it out. And it's a story song, and
I'll share a story. We did a Zoom call, a show a couple weeks back. I was actually down in the Keys for it, and on a friend's boat, and a couple of people I was with, I played the teaser video for them, and the song gets stuck in your head. And my friend John and his wife Lauren, and I sent you a screenshot.
I know,
I
that's
think I
great.
sent it yesterday. I might
Love
have done
it.
it today.
Love it.
And she heard they watched the teaser video one time, and we're on the boat, we're diving for lobster, and then I hear her singing the song. She heard it
That's
one
awesome.
time. She's singing the chorus, and
That's so good.
It was like for 3 days she was singing it, and so she would stop singing. I'd sing it, and then she'd start singing it again.
Aw.
So this was like 2 weeks ago.
I hate when that happens.
I
Love
know.
it.
I think they call it earworms.
Yep, an
Yes.
earworm.
So I
Earworms,
sent
for
it-
sure.
I screenshot a little like a 12-second part of the chorus.
it was great. Yeah, it
and
was like,
I go, here, Lauren.
Yeah.
And it's stuck in her head again.
yeah,
And that's the sign of a good song to me, when you hear it
Yeah.
and you've never heard it before, but then you're singing the chorus and
Yeah, well, before we
Yeah.
check out the video, John, tell us a little bit about that song. For those that don't know what a sandwalker is,
Well, it's
I
just-
immediately thought of Star Wars,
right.
Luke
yeah,
Sandwalker.
yeah.
But
Well, it's funny. Well, of course, well, no, you starred in the video. You didn't.
I tell the story. I just walked up and down the beach, and Dan tricked me because he said, Ringo, walk down here. There's a bottle of rum waiting for you. So I walked down there. I got
That's all
down
I
there. I'm
needed to
like,
hear.
he goes, no, it's down here. So I walked back down there, and I just walked up and down the beach in the middle of the summer in Florida.
Yeah, it was. But so I came up with the title. So the protagonist of the song, the literal story of the song. It's about a guy it's about a beachcomber, a guy. So I had two different thoughts in my head when I came up with the song idea. I've noticed, and especially since I moved to Florida, you can see these people in any beach town, but these people that walk the beach with metal detectors, and I finally chatted with a guy like last year. I saw him down in Melbourne Beach, and I was just chatting with him, and I found out a lot of these people do tend to be eccentric. I can't, it's only anecdotal. I don't want to generalize, but they do tend to be interesting, eccentric people. So, by the way, this guy did tell me, this particular guy told me, oh yeah, I monitor the high tides. He said, because what you want to do is when it's low tide, you would be surprised what people lose. Wedding rings, earrings, diamonds. And he claims he's been doing this, and he described himself as very much a loner. He really is. But over 2 decades, he claims that he has found about $40,000 worth of items. We're talking rings. So, but I was thinking about that, and then also I've been wanting to write kind of a pirate song. It's like after you listen to Jesse Rice for so long, it's like
you get stuck in your head.
Idea. And so I wanted to write a pirate song, and I didn't calculate it, but the song is about a loner. But so this beachcomber, the essence of the story is that this guy, he's a contemporary beachcomber, but he reminisces and looks back retroactively on his previous life, and he was an 18th century pirate.
Brilliant. Really, let me tell you what, the video captures this concept so well, and you all will be able to see that. Sorry for those of you tuning in on Short Life Radio, you'll get to hear the song, but if you're missing out if you're not watching us,
you go
on
to
YouTube
after the show and check it out. That
too, or you could go to John McDonald's YouTube and give him some views on that as well. But yeah, so I think we're gonna go ahead and do it, and hopefully by that time Dan pops into the Zoom.
Cool.
We'll be able to chat with him. Otherwise, we'll talk about it some more. We'll get into all the nerdy stuff and in the filming and having to do costume changes on the beach and all that fun stuff. But here it is, you guys. This is John McDonald's latest music video for Last of the Sandwalkers featuring Captain Johnny Ringo. We've got we'll talk about that, and we've got Name That Tune up next. So don't go away. This is Jams and Cocktails. Enjoy.
Nobody knows his name. He walks the beach alone. He's like a shadow in the shifting sand. Some say he's a sailor, a descendant of a pirate's son, longing for the high seas, cursing the land. He searches the dunes with a metal detector, hoping to find his past. He's the last of the sandwalkers, the brother of the 7 seas. The last of the sandwalkers, he's a little bit of you and a little bit of me. He roams the beach just out of reach of the gold he left behind. He's the last of the sandwalkers, lost in time. He's got a coal black beard and a blue clutched in his hand, a history as heavy as a chest of gold. Late one August night, a fifth of rum got him to talk. He could raise the dead with a story that he told. Something about a treasure and a Captain Kidd and the sword that sealed his past. He's the last of the Sandwalkers, the brother of the seven seas. The last of the Sandwalkers, he's a little bit of you and a little bit of me. He roams the beach just out of reach of the gold he left behind. He's the last of the Sandwalkers, lost in time. Weight of a forgotten time. He knows the curse of the albatross and the ghost ship that he lost. He's the last of the Sandwalkers, the brother of the seven seas. The last of the Sandwalkers, he's a little bit of you and a little bit of me. He roams the beach just out of the gold he left behind. He's the last of the Sandwalkers, lost in time. Lost in time. Lost in time.
There you have it, you guys. That is the last of the Sandwalkers, and it's so good. We were having a kind of a deep conversation about the video as it was playing, which is always kind of fun too. But man, it was what a cool concept, and it really does just flow so nicely with the song. And
all that credit goes to Dan, really, who directed it.
I can't believe he got Ringo to be so serious.
Well, it's funny, but he was great. I mean, really, because we asked him,
Yeah, the video was so nice. I can't believe you were so serious. Someone wrangled you. That's not easy to do.
I had the song in my head, and I was.
man, we can't hear you because you're not talking into the microphone.
He's a method actor, by the way. There's a lot of method to his madness.
And then
There's a lot of meth in his madness.
Meth to
That's
the
for
madness.
sure.
The key thing was I said,
That could've played out.
Captain, when you get off the right exit on 95, there's a Dunkin' Donuts 200 yards. So thank God we at least have coffee.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Yep.
no, that's clutch.
Yep.
It's definitely
That's very good.
definitely important.
Very important.
Yeah, hello.
Oh man. So yeah, and you were talking about this being shot in like mid-May and how here we are in August and it's literally like the surface of the sun hot outside.
Oh God, I'll tell you, it was really, I fried that day, and I couldn't imagine. I we had to get that done, and I even said to Dan, I said, boy, June's going to be here in a matter of weeks. It's like these costumes are really hot. So I definitely wouldn't have asked Johnny to do it over the summer. That's for damn sure. It just would have been too hot,
It's funny
it's always
because
summer in Florida.
because May
Just
seems
FYI.
like
Yeah.
summer as well, but
Well, even by Florida standards, this has been a pretty hot summer.
Florida and worldwide, I think the whole world
Yes.
is on fire. But
Yes.
but we've been fairly lucky here. You got some areas that are just triple digits constantly, and we're cracking into 90, which is warm, but not unmanageable. We're used to it,
Yep.
Jordan. Melissa.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, Melissa's been texting. Melissa, of course, is Ringo's daughter, texting Jordan. about all kinds of things there. So
Thanks for
Well, poor
butting it.
Melissa, you probably may not have
So
realized
good.
all the latent talent your dad has.
So good.
something like that. Very quickly, we're going to come back to name that tune, but we got. We're going to talk to Ringo just here for a minute about some of the events that he's got going on, and
Are we back on the air?
we are back on the air.
All that time? I didn't know that.
Yeah, all that time.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Surprise.
Yeah,
no
the
idea.
on-air sign is up.
Oh yeah, so,
And, you can see it there.
I'll share with the world now. My daughter texted me telling me to button one of my buttons,
Yeah.
and that she liked the shirt. She's glad I liked the shirt she got me. So yes, Melissa, I buttoned the button.
You
Thank you
keep
very
on
much.
buttoning those buttons.
I just-
Sex on the beach. That's going to be a
It's the
thing.
first time for everything.
Yeah.
When did you ever see Johnny button up?
Exactly. Cheers to
Oh
that.
man,
great.
we have Brian Burns waiting in the wings. So we're going to talk a little bit about some of the events that Ringo's got going on, and then we're going to get Brian on here to talk about Riverfest. We were saying it's like no time has passed. We're going to be talking about Riverfest again, and a year ago we were talking about Riverfest. It had just happened last time we were on
It's
the
like
show.
a
but-
Riverfest fest.
Yeah. So Ringo, we got the
Take your time. Starts with a P.
I know Pirates
B. Bash.
Bash and Quest for Key West. I got it.
There you go.
I got
There
it.
you
I got
go.
it. I was getting it confused because the cruise is the Paradise and Pirate Head.
I don't
And,
say that 5
It's
times.
the Pirates
quick.
in Paradise Party in Paradise Cruise. That's a
That's-
long name, but
It's true. But yeah,
Boy.
so the more pending event coming up in just a month.
October, yes.
Yeah,
It's actually October 27th
2
to
months.
29th.
Wow.
2 months, yes.
Yeah.
It's the 8th annual.
It's a
even though
good
it
month.
started like 11 years ago, but we skipped a year for COVID, and
Sure.
I started a rum company, skipped a couple of years. But yes, the biggest part about the Pirates Bash and Quest for Key West is the artist that performs at this event every year, which is Mr. Brad Brock himself,
It's me.
with special guest
I did
Kevin McLaughlin.
Yes,
from the
Kevin McLaughlin.
Band.
Yeah, we
And
do
that's
a
awesome.
nice little duo.
Oh, no.
You did it last year for the first time, and you
Nice.
guys, I got so many compliments on you guys, man. Everyone's
gonna
like,
try-
You guys are so good.
I'm
It
going to
was-
try
it-
this
it
time.
was.
I'm going to take a page out of John McDonald's book here, and I'm going to try not to drink an entire
Good
bottle of
call.
Jack Daniels before the show,
Dude.
because that did not bode well for
Well,
the.
you can drink it
Here's-
during the show.
No, it did bode well.
During the show would be fine, but after the show, when I was trying to break down all the gear,
Took them
that-
2 days to break down.
that became and I was just like circling around, and I didn't want any help because I had a certain
you
way.
refused
Took like
hours?
2 hours. Yeah.
It did, but you never knew because he performed flawlessly. They both did, and Kevin's always drunk. But
Story
and
for another
when
time.
Somebody, I think it was Jordan, said Brad's hammered. I'm like, I went and talked to him, and he was just like, his speech was slurred. I'm like, he's pretending. He can't be that drunk.
No, I wasn't.
But he
wasn't
kept
pretending.
the act up. I'm like, he's really that hammered. But
Yeah.
he performed flawlessly, like I said. And
But
it
then
did
off
take him
stage, a
would
whole
not
nother
take
animal.
any help loading his van up.
Thank God the muscle
Took him
memory
2
kicks in a
hours.
little bit at
It,
that point.
it
Oh
really
yeah, thank
did.
God he has that.
My
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
But
I
it's
think
a,
I went to bed.
I
I think I
opened-
just
I-
left him to
the next
pack up
morning
his
had
stuff.
to.
The next morning, I opened the van doors and was
And
like,
there was Kevin.
Yeah.
it's like when in restaurants, it's like, who closed last night?
Who did this?
It was me.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Are you getting body painted this year?
As always.
Cool.
Anyway, the Pirates Bash and Quest for Key West is the event I do every year down in the fabulous Florida Keys. We do it Halloween weekend. It starts on a Friday. Everybody makes their way to. It's the Pirates Bash and Quest for Key West. You make your way down to Isla Mirada. We have a whole entire resort blocked off for our crew, Coconut Cove Resort, and the party starts on Friday night with Brad and Kevin playing. You guys got to name your little duo something.
Yeah, we're gonna call it Brock McClock.
Brock McClock.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I just came up with it.
I
Just
don't-
Brock.
I
You
don't
could
hate
call
it.
it Brock out with McGlock out.
Oh.
There's that.
that's actually genius.
Thank you.
Because
very-
you're normally a
It's what I
one-man
do.
band, I think.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah. Kevin, actually, we just played a show together at the Square Grouper. He was filling in for my regular duo partner. And we were
Nice.
like, it was like a nice warm up. But
That's
yeah,
cool.
Brock out with McClock out.
That's
or what
it.
you actually are, double trouble.
Double trouble.
That's not bad.
McClock.
We definitely have to do some Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yes.
Carry on, Ringo.
So anyway, the party starts Friday night. Everybody makes their way to Isla Mirada. and we have the entire resort blocked off for our crew. Rates are a lot cheaper than Key West because that's the weekend that Fantasy Fest happens. The biggest event every year in Key West is Fantasy Fest. It's a 10-day festival, but that Saturday night, they block off Duval Street and they do the big parade. So our party starts on Friday with the Pirates Bash, with these guys performing. And that includes, this year I'm going back to the seafood boil. I did seafood boil a couple years ago. Then last year I did pulled pork. And I cook all this stuff myself, personally.
He does.
Got some
Well,
helpers, yes. And
Delish.
so your ticket price includes, you pay for your own hotel rooms. And I think it's $35 for the Pirates Bash and $100 or $110 for the bus. We'll get into the bus in a second. So there's 3 events in one. Start with the Pirates Bash Friday night, live music. This year's going to be a shrimp boil, mango margaritas, Pirates Booty Rum Punch. We're going to have beer. I'm going to get a keg of beer, I think, this year.
Nice.
And so you have the party Friday night with these guys jam. And it's great. Includes your food and your drinks. And then Saturday, you can wake up, you can sleep in, do whatever you want to do. Hang by the pool, which is a really cool pool area at Coconut Cove. It's a great resort in Isla Mirada. But then at 2 o'clock, we have a party bus picks us up. In the last few years, it's been a double-decker, 81-passenger buses. And we take a 2-hour cruise from Isla Mirada to Key West with open bar on the bus the entire way. We call out raffle numbers and tickets, and that's part 2 of the event. The first part of the event is the Friday night party. Then you got the second party, which is the party bus to Key West, which is a riot. It's hysterical. And then, of course, you got the third part is you're in Key West. Sloppy Joe's, Irish Kevin's, Rick's, Captain Tony's, and then the big Fantasy Fest parade. And then the bus drops us right back off at our doorstep. And the hotel rooms, if you've been to Fantasy Fest, they're like $1,500 a night.
Yeah, it's wild down there.
3-night minimums and stuff. And our resort's like $250 to $300 a night. And you don't have to drive. It's a great event every year.
wow, that
it's one of
sounds
my
fun,
favorite
man.
events.
Wow.
It's a lot of work, but it's
That's
a lot
cool.
of fun.
Yeah, it's a good time. I'm excited to be part of it again and go down there. We've actually made it a boys' trip, so the girls are going to go to Cocoa Beach for Jen's birthday party, and then it's just going to be
All the fellas.
all the fellas down there. So
What trouble could you get into?
Yeah.
Dear God.
none whatsoever.
Nope.
as they say.
We
Nice.
do behave like Christians.
Yes.
Well, good.
Yeah, so you can check it out, Pirates Bash and Quest for Key West on Facebook. Tickets can be bought on Eventbrite. There's only 9 rooms left, even though we're October. We're like
2 months out, yeah.
You're going to
Oh,
sell
wow.
out.
There's,
Yeah.
good.
there's 9 rooms left, but we have a sister hotel, which is literally walking distance, a 2-minute walk, Fisher Inn. So, hit me up on Facebook or whatever.
What's the date of that again?
October 27th.
Man,
To
if
the-
Yeah,
Actually,
last weekend of October.
Yes, it's the 27th through the 29th, but technically it goes through the 30th because
Yeah.
if you stay Sunday night, Paul, the owner of Coconut Cove Resort, gives us a special rate for Sunday. So anybody that stays over for Sunday night, you get a
Man,
cheaper
I-
rate. And we do Bloody Marys in the
Wow.
morning by the pool. But it's a fun event. And if you've never been to Fantasy Fest or you haven't been to Key West in a while, this is the best way to do it because you don't have to drive. Parking's $50. That's if you can find a parking space.
Yeah,
a
it's
fun
wild
event.
down there.
It's pretty wild.
Did
And
you
the
love-
costumes?
Did you love Brad's costume last year?
Oh my God!
Have you been able to get it out of your head?
I was
Or does it
until
live
just
rent free?
now.
Does it live rent
I
free
was
there forever?
just now till just now.
Yeah, you got to keep reminding everybody of it.
Brad went as Roger Rabbit.
Oh, okay.
But everyone thought he was Bad Bunny for some reason.
I was
or just
sexy
a bad-
Roger Rabbit because I didn't have a shirt on.
He was so
Okay.
sexy.
Yeah, he let it all.
So it was good.
all
I haven't seen him
breathe.
look that sexy since his wedding day.
Yeah.
It was good. Nice. Right on,
Just a
man.
runner up.
We're gonna pull. Now this is the first time I'm doing this, you
Are
guys.
you gonna
so
pull a Roger
we're
Rabbit
gonna-
out of your hat?
We're gonna
Speaking of rabbits,
we're gonna
Speaking of rabbits, hop to it, Brad.
we'll fix it in post.
man, I wish I could go to that this year. That sounds like a ball. That's when I'm going up. to
Here's
Orange
the
Beach.
bad part because
Aw.
I would do that event, and then every year the
Yeah.
next weekend was Meeting in the Mines,
Right,
in Key
right.
West. Now they've moved it. Not only did they move it to Alabama, they moved it up a week,
They did. They
so
had
it
to.
coincides with the Pirates Bash and Quest for Key
Just,
West.
it was a
that's
scheduling
annoying.
thing. Yeah,
Aw.
it was.
So what I'm going to work on, because I really want to do the Meeting in the Mines, so I'm going to talk
Yep.
to the town of Key West and have them move Fantasy Fest back a week.
There you go. Yep.
Yep.
Well,
I've
that's-
got
I
that.
think they'll do
kind
that.
of pull. Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
they will.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah,
I mean-
it never hurts to ask. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Ask
That's
both
true.
parties. Maybe one will
Say no.
bite. Yeah,
All right,
maybe
we're
both
gonna-
will say no.
We're going to pull in our first virtual guest here. We have joining us once again a year later. We have the one only Brian Burns joining us here on Zoom. I think it's
It is, yes,
I think it's
on
what we're
Zoom.
doing. I'm gonna try to.
Can you zoom in?
I'm gonna try.
I get a new song on the record, by the way. Escape to Zoom Island.
It's 8 to Zoom
Yeah,
Island. It's
wouldn't
the
that be nice?
Zoom Island.
it's the theme song for.
Before the pandemic, I had like Zoom 2 or 3 times. During the pandemic, it's like, dang.
Every day.
It was like that and Facebook Live. So
Are you there with us, Brian?
I am.
All right.
I
Nod
can.
your
I
head
can.
if you can
I
hear
can
it.
see everybody.
So we so let me.
I'm the ghost. I'm the ghost in the room, Brad.
But
the joy of technology.
I know.
Melissa, how's my button?
Yeah, I see.
The better?
Yeah, is he
Is
closed
that
up enough?
So that little, well, speaking of that little pendant you have on, is that something you dove for, if you
This
will?
old-
Because we all know you were a diver.
This old thing.
Yeah, this old fake
It's only
thing.
like 400 years old.
Is that all?
That's it. It's from the Atocha shipwreck.
Well, they do call it the Treasure Coast, although that was more down in the Keys, right?
All right, I think
Off
we
the Key
got you
West.
there, Brian. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me? Okay.
We can hear you now.
All
Good
right.
to see you. I wish I could see you. I'm not sure what's going on with our feed here.
I feel like the odd person out without my sunglasses on.
Hey, you know,
That's okay. I don't.
you
have
live
any
in northern
sunglasses
Florida,
on.
man. You don't need these.
Yeah, right? He's up there in
That's true.
Jacksonville.
That's true.
Oh man,
Hey, Brian.
I'm not sure why.
It's wonderful to be on here again. Like you said, a year later.
It's always good to hear your voice, man. You always make me smile.
I'm glad I do. I'm glad
You
I
do,
do.
man. You
Yeah.
do. Looking forward to hanging out with you September 16th, I think it is, right?
It's getting closer. It's
Getting
getting
close.
closer.
Riverfest on the St. Johns River, you know?
That's
John
the last
McDonald
one.
and Jesse Rice and Johnny Ringo.
I'm doing
Wow.
all my
One of the
favorite
sponsors.
What could go wrong?
Dude, we're gonna have to tell the story again once
Oh.
more about John and his cocktail, but
Yeah. Oh, dear God.
because Jesse Rice's buddy Steve was with us that night on the riverboat, and it's a funny story about John McDonald. We'll share it a little bit.
I'll be a good sport.
We'll share
and
it
I'll
right
nurture
now.
what was
We'll share it
happening.
right now. Put the camera on John.
So, this is my drink dispenser, and at this point in the afternoon, we were on the riverboat up on the St. Johns River last year, the first Riverfest. So at any rate, I hadn't eaten all day, but I was drinking. So at any rate, true story. Or go ahead, you love it so much,
oh
Captain.
my God!
I had my drink dispenser right here, and I had a bag of nuts literally in my hand.
Don't ever tell a story like that again. Anyway, we're walking around the back of the riverboat, and John's walking around going, has anybody seen my drink? And we didn't know what it looked like, so we're looking around on the floor because the boat's moving and stuff. And Jesse Rice's buddy Steve's like, he's looking for it too. He just met John, but he's looking for his drink too because that's what we do. And
Helping out. People
and
helping people.
Yeah, people helping people drink. So it's like, what it look like? And then all of a sudden he
right.
goes, it's in a Yeti cup. And Steve goes, is this it? So John literally pulls a cup from underneath his arm. He goes, yeah. And that was funny enough. But then John goes, where was it?
Oh my God.
Swear to God,
No.
true story. It was hysterical.
Oh.
It's bad enough that he had his own drink underneath his arm. But once he found it,
We were on a confined boat.
He then goes,
He's like, who
where
found
was
it? Where was it? What happened?
That was
Well,
classic.
at that point, you can't really redeem yourself at that point,
Oh,
you know.
man.
Yeah, well, you gotta have to top it this year.
That's amazing.
But yeah, so all right, Brian, tell us about Riverfest, brother.
There was a lot of rum flowing that day, as I'm sure there will be this year.
Yes, even more this year. And you touched on something when we had the Zoom call when I was down in the Keys, and you talked about the bait fish running through, because I got a video I'm going to send you. And the tarpon were just tearing the bait up. So you're on this riverboat. It's great music. These guys are jamming. And then you're looking out at the water, and these tarpon are just tearing up the bait fish, man. It was like something out of National Geographic. It was so cool, dude. It was really awesome.
Yeah.
It was an awesome event.
I got some video of it, and I had Ray Boone, who's a videographer. He taped a lot of fishing shows throughout his career, traveled all over the world doing that. So I sent him this, and I said, when I look at this, I can see the tarpon jumping out of the water. Can you freeze that and save that picture for me? And he did, and it was about a 4-foot tarpon, and it jumped out of the water, and he nailed that. But it was so fun to watch on the river there, because during that time of the year, all of the mullet and all of the bait fish are in the river, and so are the tarpon and the dolphin. And it's amazing watching the dolphin, because they'll push all of the bait fish. Yeah, and they'll push them up against the wall, so they've eliminated one quarter of their escape. And once they get as many in there as they want, they just go crazy. And you see mullet jumping up out of the water. It looks like the water's boiling, and it was so cool.
That's very cool.
And that with the music, and this year we changed it a little bit. We're kicking it. We're making it more of a pirate themed event, having a pirate costume contest, and then that will be followed by a couple of hours of music by John McDonald, and I'm sure we will get the Last of the Sandwalker song in there, and he'll play for a couple of hours. Everything off of his new CD, Beach More, Worry Less, and I'm sure a couple of songs off of Islandology.
Absolutely.
And then we've got Brown Sugar Barbecue sponsored dinner, so we'll have we'll come back in at 5 o'clock and grab the food and then head back out so that Jesse can play and everybody can eat some barbecued ribs and chicken and corn and a chunk of bread. Just good pirate food.
Yeah.
All everything that you just need your hands to eat it. There won't be any coleslaw or baked beans or anything like that this time. Just hand food.
I like it.
And then Jesse will be playing, and he'll play through a sunset on the river, and then we'll head back into shore.
Big
and
it
should be wonderful. We're sold out. I can't put another person on the boat. I've got
That's great news.
Coast Guard regulations. The boat that boat only holds 100 people. And I've got a couple of crew on there, so it drops my number of tickets down a little bit more that I can sell. But
so
we are sold out.
It holds 100 people?
100 people total.
So it'll be 100, 120 of us on the boat?
Yeah.
Well, the Coast Guard...
disclaimer, just kidding.
I mean, they might... a little bit of rum goes a long way. I'm just saying.
It worked last year.
The United States, they're wonderful people. I know people in the Coast Guard, but they do enjoy a little bit of rum now and then. So maybe we can get them as what will we call it? Accompany us down the river and just give them some rum.
A U.S. Coast Guard escort?
Yes, absolutely.
I like it. John knows all about escorts.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So we have a pirate theme on the St. Johns River in Jacksonville.
Pirates on the St. Johns River.
I'm going to be looking for some booty. I'll tell you that right now.
You better stick
to
trying to find your drink, John.
Yeah, hello. Oh man, I'll tell you what. Last year when we did this, I know later in the evening when Jesse was playing, the guy, the captain of the boat took us out on the harbor. And the skyline, the sun was going down. We had the skyline of Jacksonville in the background, and Jesse was playing, started getting down into Pirate Town, and it was just a perfect, Jesse and his music and his songs. And we were out, at this point with the city in the background. It was really aesthetically a beautiful, beautiful event.
Yeah, the city lights up very nice.
Yeah,
it does. It was a fun time.
With all of there's 5 bridges that go into downtown Jacksonville, and they all have lights on them. So at night, it's just beautiful being out on the river.
And the bridges weren't the only thing lit.
95% of if not 100% of the people that were on that.
That's true
boat.
too.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, Brian. It's going to be really nice.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Next year, I'll have to look for for a pirate boat. Maybe one of those that have one of the tall ships or something that has crossed. We've had them come into Jacksonville before. I saw something on Facebook the other day where a guy bought, it was a pirate boat, and he bought it because he wanted the trailer. And he's asking people, do you want the boat?
Why did I not get a phone call?
Oh, wow.
That's too funny.
It went like that.
Well, Brian, it was good to see you at John's CD release party. And
absolutely, it was good to see you too.
And
it was a fun day.
Yeah, we should try not to make it so much time in between before we get you back on to talk about some of your other great events. But yeah, Riverfest coming up next month. What was the date again?
September 16th.
September 16th. So not that it matters to anybody that hasn't gotten a ticket yet, but good for you for having a sold out event. That's awesome. And I'm sure it's going to be just as good as or better even than it was last year for sure.
And
I'm looking forward to it.
It's 3
looking
days.
forward to having John and Johnny on the boat again.
It's 3 days shy of International Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Well, there you go. We'll have to do a date shift for next time.
Oh, who?
Date shift.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, awesome. Well, right on, man. Brian, thank you so much for joining us, my friend. And we'll talk to you soon. Have a great event. I'm gonna have to get on the ball a little bit earlier next year and get my ticket sooner.
Put it on your calendar now, Brad.
I'm gonna put it on my calendar now.
Or have Brian do something in South Florida.
Next year is September 15th.
Hey, see you soon, Brian. Looking forward to it, brother.
Brian,
thanks, Brad. Thanks, John. Thanks, Johnny.
We'll talk soon.
See you next. See you.
All
right. We do still have a couple other guests to get to. I guess let's pull on Dan Jones since we just watched the last of the Sandwalkers. I'm going to get him in here.
Who I like to call Dan the Man Jones.
Dan the Man Jones. Dan, welcome to the Jams and Cocktails program. So we just shared with everybody the music video for Last of the Sandwalkers, and we were talking a little bit about your process, but it's always better to hear it from the person that did it. Tell us a little bit about the video from your end, from the production standpoint, and how it was working with these knuckleheads.
Brad,
well, it's always great. It's always great working with these guys. I think this is the 7th video or so I've done with John. So
yeah,
I think
wow.
and then
we did one with Ringo previously, so.
Yeah, with the CODE Rum video. So I think we've got a pretty good workflow down now. I think we know, John understands, what kind of shots I want to get and need to get. And I mean, we work together well. Shooting this video on the beach. We just did Ukulele Dreams down on the beach, which turned out pretty well.
That was a really nice
similar
video
location
as well.
there.
Yeah.
Thank you. So yeah, and working with Johnny Ringo, I mean, basically, I don't know if you guys touched on this, but we said a lot of, hey, walk down the beach that way, and
there's a rum bottle there, by the way.
That's premier.
Yeah, there's a rum bottle. Find it.
There's an Emmy in there for me. Is it an Emmy? Jordan, is it an Emmy?
Yeah. There's an Emmy, maybe an Oscar. I don't know.
But no, I think working with them is great. As far as the process goes for shooting the video, we kind of do a lot of run and gun, but John and I, for this one, I actually set up a list of shots that I would like to get to kind of tell the story. I emailed it to John. We shared it with Captain Ringo and kind of went from there. So it's some run and gun, it's some pre-production planning, and then when it comes down to editing, it's a little bit of both too. I'm kind of sitting there trying to get into the zone to figure out, hey, how can I tell a story with these shots, and send John a version, and we kind of go back and forth on it till we get a final product.
Yeah, so. Man, it was just it really told such a nice. It did justice to the song, the story that the song was telling. The flow was so nice, and even John's reaction that he tried to get you to cut out of from sipping the rum.
Yeah.
It was such a great part to. So thank you for convincing him to keep that in. It was so good.
That's one of my favorite parts of the video.
Of course it is.
It is one of my favorite parts of the video.
Yeah, I didn't give him a choice. We just kept it in.
Well, Captain, you got some great flavors of rum, but typically, they are. By the way, cinnamon is killer. We know you got some killer flavors, but I've never had a shot of rum at 7 a.m. without a chaser or something with it.
Yeah, no,
No
it's,
Coke or nothing.
And on the hot beach.
Yeah, hello.
John,
Yeah.
you need the beach more, worry less.
I know.
Ah, profound.
Yeah. So what was the most difficult, Dan, part about filming this video?
I'm going to answer that and say getting me up in the morning.
Yeah, that was probably true. What was
really
the biggest
surprised.
challenge for filming this for you?
Just being out in the sun. I mean, I don't. As far as the challenge goes, I mean, for a video like this, as I said, we kind of have a good workflow down. We know. I want John to, get some certain angles, especially when he's performing the song and we're playing it back to get the shot. So I always like to have like my base set to where I have 5 or 6 good takes. Maybe 2 or 3 different looks for those 5 or 6 takes, and then besides that, it's a nice hodgepodge of B-roll over top of it. And with this one, as I said, we wrote out some shots because it's especially for shooting this really with Johnny in just a couple hours in the morning. We really had to get the most bang for it. So just trying to have some sort of workflow to where, I don't know, we get the shots, get the B-roll, and then I just come back and put it together. As far as challenges, I don't know. I mean, I sit in front of the computer sometimes and stare at it and scratch my head for a while and do a lot of things. Hey, let me move the shot over here and let me.
Jesus.
Oh yeah.
No, the magic is it, but the magic really is in the editing because it's we had Johnny do all kinds of things and like again Dan storyboarded the whole thing, but it's just the magic really is in the editing and the juxtaposition of the B-roll with the shots on the beach, and it does. This is more of a story song than the previous songs. We did Remember we did Rooftop Island a few years ago, Dan. So we ended up we went to the new Hotel Melby in Melbourne and went to the very top and baked our rear ends off in the sun there. But it was just, so depending upon the song, you got to take a song where you can try to work out a concept and.
And it was impressive because the way you put it together and just the timing of everything. When they always say the magic's in the editing, and it truly is, man. Kudos to you, Dan.
Cool.
It was awesome. When I watched
I'm
it
glad
come
you guys.
together, I was like, wow, this is.
That's great. Yeah. I'm glad you guys liked it as much as you did. That makes me feel good.
Yeah.
So.
Now we're looking forward to the next one.
I know, God.
Yeah.
Right on, Dan.
What are you doing tomorrow?
So by the
around noon.
Let's meet.
so by the
around noon.
So by the way, Dan, it might be a road trip because I said to the captain, I think he should find one of his really rich friends in South Florida, and we should do a big party and do a party video to the haves and the have yachts.
Sure.
Oh.
That'd be cool.
Start thinking about it now.
We could have a
code.
a CODE Rum party on the damn boat,
I mean, twist my arm. That sounds.
I know. We'd really have to work
sounds
hard to
horrible.
get people for that,
Well, right on, Dan. Thank you so much for zooming in with us and giving us
no worries. Thanks
your
for having
insight on the video. Really well done, and looking forward to the yacht party for sure.
So if somebody else wanted to
Yeah,
make
definitely.
a video, do you pimp yourself out? Is there some info you want to give
Yeah.
us?
Any shameless plugs?
Yeah, just email me. I guess that's the best way. It's dan@cocobeachweb.com. I'm most responsive to email. If you send me a text, I'll respond, but it's going to take me a little while.
Yeah, I learned
So-
that.
Hey,
No, just
Oh yeah.
hey, he'll do your wedding, he'll do your corporate event, but he won't have as much fun without the captain.
I love. Yeah. Oh yeah. I love the music stuff too. I play guitar. I'm a musician, so doing anything with a band or a musician is always fun. So,
It probably
but
helps
it
you
beats the
as
corporate
well.
stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great.
So-
All right, Dan.
and if you do
Oh.
weddings, I marry people. I actually married Brad and Jordan.
I was literally
You
just
did.
thinking. I was like,
I
where
know.
was this?
Well, wait
when
a
we-
second. Let's put a whole. Well, this is a whole
We
other
need to-
enterprise. We
Yeah.
can talk about it.
Yeah.
Booty Productions. Are.
Booty Productions.
We rented a booty
We got
production.
video. We got music. We have the
Everything.
officiant.
One-stop shopping.
Yep. We're like Walmart.
The video.
All right, Dan. Thank you so much, man, for
thank you,
joining
guys.
us, and we'll catch you again soon. Cheers.
Good seeing you, Dan.
Sounds
See you,
good.
Dan.
Have a nice night.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
All right.
He's awesome.
Yeah, what a great job that he did on that video too, for sure. Jordan, I can't see where my mouse is on that. I need to.
It's on my little screen.
I know. I can't see it because.
This is really romantic talk. Maybe we.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
John, should we leave?
Can you find my mouse?
So
It's right where you left it.
Oh,
I guess since we're getting through all these guests here, we might as well get to our last guest here. We have Dan, another Dan, who actually did the artwork
That's right, Dan
For-
Podsobinski.
right here, the artwork here. So we're gonna pull him up here real quick. Welcome to the show.
Dan the man.
And
Great. Am I unmuted?
there you are. We can hear you now.
I like your background.
Everybody? Hey,
Yeah, it looks
thank you.
very familiar back there.
Well,
some reason-
that's really exotic. Where the hell did you get that?
That could be an album cover.
Great.
So Dan, we're here. We're looking at we're here with John McDonald, obviously, and we were discussing this artwork on his latest album, Beach More and Worry Less, and he was like, "Well, why talk about it when we can go right to Dan and get to the bottom of this?" Really, really nicely done, and it really captures the whole essence of Beach More and Worry Less. So. Tell us a little bit about your inspiration for creating this. Clearly, there's an image behind you that maybe I'm hoping that was the inspiration for this. But yeah, tell us a little bit about the process.
Yeah, thank you, Brad, and hey, thanks everybody for having me here. Much appreciated. As I stroll in late tonight from a photography workshop I had, but the inspiration for the old Beach More Worry Less is a great island to actually have the yachts party at.
Okay,
there you go.
all right.
From the
There's a
coast of
possibility.
Florida.
We wouldn't rule that out.
50 miles from the coast of Florida, the east coast of Florida. It's a little, if you Google map this island, you won't even see it until you really start zooming in. It's only about 9 miles big, and it's or 9 square miles. It's Bimini off the in the Bahamas.
Bimini.
So Bimini. So,
I
yeah.
was thinking
So that's Bimini, and I'm going to hold this up because behind me is only half the beach that's on the album cover. The rest of it is, you got more beach way
let
over
me
here.
see that, Jordan. Let me see this real quick.
There's a ton.
If you open it up, it's the whole image across the whole back. That's
Correct.
that is.
Yeah.
I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
That's great.
Jordan's shocked.
Shook it.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, so a string of half a dozen or so yellow umbrellas on the beach by the hill on Bimini.
Now, is there a resort that resides in that area that does it, or is it just kind of an empty beach? Because that's what it kind of looks like on here. Is this just lovely empty beach?
Pristine
Except,
beach.
yeah, you know.
That there are a couple, like, there's a restaurant right sort of behind me with a sand floor, and you can call it a restaurant by not by American standards, but by Bimini standards, it is a restaurant.
They have food available to eat. That is what it is.
Yeah,
Do they have rum?
They have a lot of rum. So Coconut Brian is actually, we got to get CODE Rum over to Bimini for Coconut Brian. He's making pina coladas right behind me, like 20 feet, 10 feet from me right there.
That's
Nice.
amazing.
That's
Slicing
awesome.
the coconuts open. He, hits them with the big mallet, cracks them open, pours rum in there, and sells
I
them to
love
the
it.
tourists for cash. Yeah.
It's funny because I've been threatening to do it for a while now, to do a coconut rum, but it's going to be CODE Canut.
Ah,
CODE Canut.
Code Connect.
Well, there's a new song title if I've ever heard one.
Right?
CODE Canut.
Well, Dan, I have a quick question. So, on this image, is this a mixed media? Is it a photograph or is it a painting? Because there's some really fine details in there, but it also kind of has this almost like impressionist look. What is the process to actually creating the image?
It's both a photograph and it's digital art. It's impressionistic digital art, to be more specific. So you know it there, Brad. You got all the components of it. It's
He's
it's
smarter
a
than he
photo
looks.
taken. And yeah, I mean, it has the brush strokes, the textures, and then John McDonald's name in orange on the cover. That's actually a sunset. It's superimposed over a sunset from Key West, overlooking Mallory Square.
No kidding.
I knew it.
I dabble in graphic design just a little bit, and I love the fact that you actually used a real to life texture to put on over the superimposed over his name versus just kind of like anything generic. I think that's actually very special. I find that very cool.
Cool. Yeah, thanks, Fred. Yeah, that sunset is actually, if anybody's ever, if you guys have been to the Sunset Key Cottages.
Yeah, it's been
Mallory
about
Square.
a week, but
there you go. Yeah. Well, that's the sunset they sell in their gift shop. It's a statement piece of art. Same image I pulled it from. Yeah.
Very, very
it's
cool.
It's a classic image.
Well,
learn something. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, Dan, do you? I almost on our previous guest, I almost forgot to ask. Do you have any shameless plugs? Do you work for hire or any contract work?
Whatever. Yeah, Island Hoppers Art is one of my websites, and Island Hoppers. There's two of us, my wife and I, Tracy. If she doesn't like it, it doesn't see the light of day.
Smart man.
So she definitely is part of the design process.
It's good to have that barrier.
Definitely. And then with so islandhoppersart.com, great website. A lot of art out there. I just put out a Atocha art from the shipwreck from
nice.
Sunk over 402 years ago. The Atocha.
Yeah, I've got this coin here I'm wearing around my neck is from the Atocha shipwreck.
Yeah,
With
Ringo.
actually two little emeralds from the wreck as well.
Yeah, Ringo free dived down there and got it himself with his bare hands.
I'm a big free diver. Means I don't get paid.
Yeah, that's it. I'm a free loader.
Hey, Dan just spent like about a month in Key West, didn't you? You and Tracy were down there doing business, and he sells art to resorts and all kinds of different clients. Really,
that's awesome.
Next time you head down, let me know. I was just down there beginning of this month. I'm down there all the time, so we'll have to connect and help you sell some art. I know a lot of people down there.
Well, sounds like a great plan, Johnny. Yeah, love
if nothing comes from it, at least we'll get to drink some rum together.
For real.
Amen. I like how that sounds.
Right on,
I've got
Dan.
mine right here.
Oh, look at you. Well, Dan, cheers. Thank you so much for sharing your process with us and creating this wonderful artwork for John's latest album, which, in my opinion, and I told him this earlier, I think this is the best piece that he's offered as of yet. And the best is yet to come always, but this is really nice. And so thank you for your contribution to this great album. And I will be sure to put your information on our links for the shows moving forward here. So thank you again, awesome. Dan.
Thank you, Brad.
Have a good
one.
Good
to see you, Dan.
Cheers.
You guys.
All right.
All right.
Take care, brother.
Drink up, me Hardy.
That is Island Hopper Art. What do you say, John? You want to play a tune?
I would be happy to.
All right, so we're going to get a little live music here while John gets set up.
All right, let me...
Be sure to smash that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. If you've not already, we appreciate that. That helps us get all the millions and millions of dollars that we are owed by viewers just like you.
He's kidding. It's $500,000.
It's $500,000. So John is going to play a tune for us, and then I promise we'll do Name That Tune coming up next.
All right, so I'm going to do something. Since we're all well lubricated, and I will lubricate very quickly, I want to say hi to everybody. I think we get some people from around Florida, from the Northeast, maybe from the Gulf Coast of Florida. A couple people from Texas, I'm hoping. And all right, so at any rate, all right, so let me do just one of the happy songs off of the. Well, most of them are happy, actually. So Rick and I wrote this song. We were chatting about copyrights, and And as if you know, you can't copyright song titles. And we're saying, well, in the case of Margaritaville, why would you want to write Margaritaville? You really can't at this point. But it might be a little bit more complicated because it represents what an international mega corporation, leisure lifestyle brand. But all right, here, clear my throat. But I was just saying, this was a joke, and I just said, well, you know, we can't write Margaritaville. That would be ridiculous. But you could write, you're on the road to Margaritaville. I left something in Margaritaville. And I kiddingly said, well, you're my Margaritaville. And Rick said, I love that. I said, really? So the bottom line is it's one of these things where it's on the record. It was kind of a joke, but we liked it. You're my tequila. You keep me buzzing. I'm a lover holding for your touch. I'm a crazy wanderlust for everything you do. I drink you up like a loving cup. You get me higher than a Jimmy Buffett song. You really rock my world, girl, every time you sing along. You're my Margaritaville. You're my sweet tequila still. You're my banging party with a free refill. You're my Margaritaville. When you're dancing with your flip-flops on, you pop my pop-top all night long. You take me on a high and you always will. You're my Margarita, you're my Margarita, you're my Margaritaville. I got 100 proof, I'm in love with you. We make the perfect mix together. You're the kind of thirst I save, and I'm thirsty every night and day. You're like a blender full of trouble. You're a malicious red hot flame. When it comes to intoxicating lips, you're the devil to blame. You're my Margaritaville. You're my sweet tequila still. You're my banging party with a free refill. You're my Margaritaville. When you're dancing with your flip-flops on, you pop my pop-top all night long. You take me higher and you always will. You're my Margarita, you're my Margarita, you're my Margaritaville. You're my Margarita, you're my Margarita, you're my Margaritaville. Woo! Thank you.
I love it. I love it so much.
You know, it's Rick and I started writing. I said, "You really like this?" And he said, "Yeah." And then we started, and then lo and behold, it was like I would have never written that, but he said, "No, I like it. Let's go." And then all of a sudden, all right, this feels kind of good. It's just fun. So we wrote it for our collective significant others. His wife is Deanna.
Yours, Donna.
Mine is Donna. So it's D&D.
Jordan,
Aw.
That's awesome.
you're my Margaritaville.
So, by the way, just as a songwriter, so at any rate, I try to convince Rick, I want to sing You're the Woman to Blame. He said, well, wait a second. He said, this is we are kind of paying homage to Jimmy Buffett in a sense. I said, yeah. He said, no, you shouldn't put Woman to Blame. It would be too much. So when I do it live, particularly when I'm doing a solo, no bad, I'll do la, 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 la. That's the solo for the musicians who aren't available.
Right.
But I decided I want to get Woman to Blame in. So you're like a blender full of doubles. You're a malicious red hot flame. When it comes to intoxicating lips, you're the woman to blame.
Nice.
All right. So it's not on the recording, but when I sing it live, damn it, I'm singing Woman to Blame.
There's a live album coming out soon.
You're going to get it the way that you want to get it. Oh, man. All right, you guys. As promised, we're going to put your knowledge of music to the test here in this islandy round of Name That Tune. Let's do it. All right, here we go. And we're going to do it quickly. We're gonna pull through. Jordan, God, you're on it.
Jordan
look at
rock.
you. She's already got all the boards out. Everybody's ready.
We were ready.
All right. Well, you guys, if you're still tuning in with us live on YouTube and Facebook, we invite all of our live viewers to play along with us in the chats and comments. We are looking for the name of the song and the name of the artist or group performing it. Our category tonight is Beach More, Worry Less.
Wow, there's a pattern.
How about that? Are you guys ready to play?
I'm sensing it.
Here we go. All right. First clue for Name That Tune. Here we go.
If everybody had an ocean across the USA.
Here's that clue once again.
If everybody had an ocean across the USA.
What are we supposed to do?
You got to write down the name of the song there,
did.
Ringo,
Okay.
and then the name of the artist, and then just hang tight because we might have some people playing in there, including Island Hopper's art. So Dan is in the chats playing along, and he nailed it straight out of the gate. Oh, there,
That Dan.
smart fella, better than a fart smella.
Did you just make that up?
No.
I didn't
All
think
right.
so because it's kind of funny.
Yeah. Too funny for Brad.
Too funny for me.
Let's flush that out.
All right, what do you guys have here in the lounge? Let's see your answers. It is Serving USA by the Beach Boys.
Everybody's got surfing, serving USA.
But you guys don't know that Brian, when they originally recorded the song, he was not in the studio that day.
I feel like Brian missed a lot of studio
He
sessions.
did.
What was he doing?
He was the creative genius.
He was the creative genius, but
I'm not going to answer that.
he missed a couple key moments in Beach Boys history. All right, next clue. Here we go.
Oh, when the sun beats down and burns the tar up on the roof.
Can I say shit?
You may say shit. Here it is one more time.
Oh, when the sun beats down and burns the tar up on the roof.
Dee chiming in over on Facebook. She got the answer to the last one. I think she's doing text to talk, though, because it came out Searching USA by the Beach Boys. I think that's an entirely different song.
Is that Rum Cake D?
It is Rum Cake D.
Ooh.
Rum cake.
Hello, D.
Rapid Dog got the name of the song there. And Island Hopper's art. Dan got it. He nailed it. What do you guys have here in the lounge? Everybody got their answers?
I don't have the artist.
It is Under the Boardwalk by the Drifters.
Good job, John.
That's one of my all-time favorite summer songs.
It's a good one. A classic, if you will. All right. Are we ready for the next clue?
I thought I was ready for the last one.
Here's the next clue.
Off the Florida Keys.
This is my jam.
Here it is one more time.
Off the Florida Keys.
Can we give a clue to this, Brad? It was a movie theme song. Was it not?
I don't know.
Yes.
I was only born 20 years ago.
Oh, you're way
wait.
too young. And here's the clue, Jordan. You ready?
Yeah.
Tom Cruise was one of the big stars in the movie.
Cocktail.
You got it.
Was it cocktail?
Of course, yes.
Yes.
Of course it was.
She just likes saying tail.
Yeah.
There really is a distinct pattern.
You
Yeah.
think?
See what happens? I moved to Florida to hang with you guys. It's all about the beach and the cocktail.
Yep.
That's it.
And that's all that
John-
matters.
That's
John-
all that matters.
John keeps copying off my paper.
No
Both
cheating
of you
over
to
there,
the
folks.
principal's office.
It was
Let's see.
Kokomo.
Kokomo by the Beach Boys. That's right.
Jordan's correct.
Spelled with a K, though.
This also
It is.
notoriously
Spelled with a C.
another recording that Brian Wilson missed out on.
Yeah. And by the way, one of the songwriters on this, if I'm not mistaken, was John Phillips, as in the Mamas and the Papas in the John Phillips.
That's
The
right.
mamas and the papas.
That's right. You would be correct.
Yeah.
I believe.
I still miss Wilson Phillips. You only hear them at Christmas.
Or when you watch the movie
Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids.
That's right. Oh boy.
That was a jam. I had that CD. That was one of my first CDs.
That was a
Sorry.
jam for
I
a
mean,
while,
that might be
wasn't
making
it?
myself young or old. I don't know.
They were that we're talking mid to late 80s, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was 90.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
Yeah. Late
Yeah.
80s.
Gotcha.
When you
Gotcha.
mi-
It's funny.
90s.
It's the only song I ever played on the whole album. I feel was the Hold On song, though. I don't
Yeah.
even know that I've ever
Listened
fully
to it.
listened to the whole album.
What was their big Christmas hit though? You hear it every year.
Oh, I don't know.
Something Santa. Wilson Phillips.
Santa.
Bad Santa.
Can you hear me? No. I
Then
don't-
was it Cardi Wilson had a talk show on television for quite a few years.
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna need
I
to
don't know
look
why
this
I
up.
remember stuff like that.
I don't
Yeah.
know, but just for the record, when you say something about a CD, you don't date yourself. You said 8-track, totally different
Oh,
story.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it could be.
Now, 8-track, you would really be dating yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. With Elvis.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Oh.
All right, next clue here you guys.
Keeping it real to real.
We got two more here. This one might be a little difficult.
I got it.
Nibbling on sponge cake. Watching the sun.
In case you need it, here it is one more time.
Nibbling on sponge cake. Watching the sun.
So I was in Publix not that long ago,
Me too. That's uncanny.
and I asked she was a millennial. I said, "Do you guys still carry sponge cake?" And she looked at me. She said, "What?"
What the heck is sponge?
Yeah,
Is that
really.
a sponge? We have sponges and cake.
Yeah, well, we have sponges.
And cakes.
She did.
Yeah.
Cleaning aisle 14. She did.
You don't want to eat those.
So, by the way, today, devil's, what do they call it? Devil's angel's cake. No, something about
Oh,
Oh,
Angel
angel
food
food
cake?
cake.
Angel food.
that's the closest thing to sponge cake you can find at Publix
What's the difference?
or Winn-Dixie. Probably not
their,
a hell of a
their
lot.
number of sins.
It's still next to the whipped cream and the strawberries
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
the number of
okay.
sins.
As
I'll
it should
buy
be.
that.
There you
Interesting.
because that's what I want to have after I finish a
You know what?
joint or
I
two.
should have brought some.
True.
Brad, you guys know I cook. I just made the most delicious banana nut bread last night. Oh
Wow.
my god!
You didn't bring any?
I did not. I didn't
Yeah, what
think
the
about
heck?
it.
Oh my
I
God!
know.
I'm really feeling deprived now.
Yeah, how
that-
insulting.
I don't even want to talk about it.
I added a little bit of my spice rum to it.
Oh,
Oh my god,
yeah.
it's so good.
What do you guys have here in the
Have
lounge?
mercy.
The answers have come in on the
Everybody
chats.
should know that. That's
It is, of course, Margaritaville by Jimmy Buffett.
Wasting away again.
who is now a billionaire according to Forbes Entertainment Supplement.
Because of this song.
Buffett.
Yep. Well, when you think about what it represents, it's an entire lifestyle leisure brand.
That would be two Buffett billionaires in the world.
Oh.
I was going to write something cutesy about Warren and Jimmy. I was going to confuse people. My favorite Buffett is Warren, but I don't know.
I like it.
So,
Don't give away all your secrets.
I
No,
think you're
I'm
onto
just saying.
something.
I
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it might be
if you
onto
like it,
something.
steal it. Take it.
Ah.
It's good. It's good. All right, you guys. Final clue here. And name that tune. Here we go. Here's that clue one more time.
But I'll be really impressed if you get the group name.
Yep, we're looking for that as well.
Several surf groups cover this, but one group really had the major hit out of it, I believe.
Rabbit Dog in there with the correct song name. Jordan, you got a big nothing?
Well, I cheated,
Oh,
and I was wrong.
How'd
so
you cheat? How can you cheat?
because
I
she's
looked
watching
in
the she's watching the
Brad
chats.
drew attention to that. Rapid Dog had
Yeah,
the answer, and
I
there's
should
I
have,
looked. Yeah.
I should wait. Let's see. What do you guys have here? It is Wipeout. What's the name of the band, Jordan?
The Safaris?
The Rolling Stones.
You gotta let her.
Oh yeah. What
Is it not the Safaris?
It is. It is.
Forest?
Yeah.
No. what-
Safaris.
Yeah.
Has it taken a safari?
Don't make
That's
fun
it.
of me, Brad.
So a while back.
You don't need to tell the story.
P.S. Great job, everybody. Nice job. Thanks for playing along out there. And thank you for that drum solo there, Ringo.
Thank you very much.
Years ago now, Jordan was doing a news story on and the
That's
Safaris.
news-
The
that's news to
Safaris came up in an article, and
Really?
they did, and she was just, bless her heart, just reading, just
I'm
reading.
a very literal
as
reader.
When did
do.
you learn to read?
and she
Under a rock.
Because he said
She
you were
got
just
it.
reading.
and she said, and she was just going on, and as a matter of factly, she just said the Surfaris.
Okay, well,
And I was like,
I'm a very literal reader.
The
Sometimes when I'm
Sepharis?
in the zone, just
So
those
Engli-
are all great summer classics.
English
Great-
is hard.
Great.
Yeah.
Summer classics.
Yeah.
Summer not.
Ah,
nice, Ringo.
touche, touche, pussycat.
All right, so we are running down on time here, which is great.
Yeah, you guys are chatty Cathy's.
Yeah, we love it.
What we do.
Sometimes we get it's like an hour and a half in, and it's like, okay, what do we do now? Let's all get naked. We don't have to do that tonight, though.
Thank God we didn't run out of time yet.
That's it.
I wouldn't mind another sex on the beach, but
Speaking of naked,
It's always good to have more sex on the beach.
Always.
Listen, I'm gonna do midweek motivation. If you want to make John another sex on the beach,
I
that'll be
will
awful
do
nice.
that.
All the nice.
Well,
all right.
no. Let's
Dos.
relax. We can
Okay.
let's handle this like professionals.
You leave
Okay.
her. You
Well,
leave her be.
I'm gonna let you guys have a break anyway here because we're going to
Okay.
get into this week's midweek motivation.
God,
Get
do I need some?
Yes, I got a little motivational message for all you out there. Let's do it. It's my Miami Vice intro there.
That's cool.
Quite nice, right?
I like it.
All right, you guys. Today, I want to share with you a philosophy that now I'm going to be living by as we move through this crazy world. I can transform the way you see the world. That's right. Beach more, worry less. It's not just about sandy shores and sunlit horizons. No. But a mindset, a way of life. Imagine standing at the edge of the ocean. The vast blue expanse stretches out before you with waves crashing rhythmically against the shore. Each wave a testament to nature's relentless energy and resilience, is both an end and a new beginning. Just like the challenges and opportunities in our lives, these waves represent the highs and lows, the ups and downs, the ebb and flow. The beach is a place where we feel connected to the earth, where we're reminded of the grandeur of the universe and our tiny yet significant place within it. It's a place where worries seem to dissolve with the outgoing tide and possibilities seem as endless as the horizon. Beach more is not just about spending more time on the shore, though that certainly helps. It's about embracing the moment, living in the present, and approaching the beauty in every little detail. It's about recognizing the transient nature of our worries, knowing that just as footprints in the sand are washed away, so too will our troubles pass. On the other hand, worry less is not about neglecting responsibilities or avoiding problems. It's about changing our perspective, understanding that while we can't control every wave that comes our way, we can control how we respond. It's about finding peace amidst chaos and harnessing the strength to keep moving forward. Life will always have its storms, its high tides, and its turbulent waters. But we must remember that after every storm, there is a rainbow. After every high tide, there's a calming low, and even the most turbulent waters eventually find their calm. The beach teaches us that life is cyclical, that change is the only constant, that there's beauty in every phase. So next time you're faced with adversity or overwhelmed by the pressures of daily life, I encourage you to channel the spirit of the beach. Let go of unnecessary burdens, breathe in positivity, focus on the horizon of opportunities ahead. Remember, life is too short and too beautiful to be weighed down by worries. In the symphony of life, let the ocean's song be your guiding melody. Dive into the waves of challenges with courage, build sandcastles of dreams, and always keep the sunlit promise of hope on the horizon. Because, my friends, when we truly beach more and worry less, we not only find peace, but also the strength to conquer any tide.
Wow.
Very eloquent, boy.
Well-
We should
well
we should
done,
go on the
Brad.
road. Wow.
I'll give that
can't wait to-
speech before John performs, just like he's going to do right now. You're going to do another tune for us?
Well, you know what? I'm thinking after that, maybe we should do a little bit of Beach More or less. That was.
I love it.
That was very good job, Brad.
Thank you.
That was wonderful.
Love it.
So let's do a little bit of that. Just to that was well done, my friend. Beach More, worry less. The world keeps burning while the tide keeps turning to the rhythm of the ripple effect. Beach More, worry less. Take a walk in the sun and keep your flip-flops on. Love, sweet love, will take care of the rest. I got a little salty secret I'd like to share with you. It started with a quiet whisper on the midnight sea of blue. She seemed to know me from a million years gone by. She started chanting in a voice I somehow recognized. Beach More, worry less. The world keeps burning while the tide keeps turning to the rhythm of the ripple effect. Beach More, worry less. Take a walk in the sun and keep your flip-flops on. Love, sweet love, will take care of the rest. Now I know that I've become a better beach bum on this earth. Ever since that fateful night, I know exactly what it's worth. I follow every dream I wish for. I can see the rainbow's end. So find your heart and make a smile. Take it to a friend. Beach More, you worry less. The world keeps burning while the tide keeps turning to the rhythm of the ripple effect. Beach More, worry less. Take a walk in the sun and keep your flip-flops on. Love, sweet love, will take care of the rest. Don't take much to make the world a little better. Mother Ocean keeps telling us that we're all family. So beach more, worry less. The world keeps burning while the tide keeps turning to the rhythm of the ripple effect. Beach more, worry less. Take a walk in the sun and keep your flip-flops on. And love, sweet love, will take care of the rest. Beach more, worry less. Beach more, worry less. Beach more, worry less. Take a walk in the sun and keep your flip-flops on. And love, sweet love, will take care of the rest.
Well done, sir.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
All right, all right. Well, you guys, we're going to start winding down the show here just a little bit. We thank you so much for tuning in with us. We're going to go do some shameless plugs here real quick. We'll kick it off with Ringo. Ringo, hit us with a few shameless plugs, man. What should people be looking out for immediately?
Immediately, first of all, quick shout out to my daughter who bought me this terrific shirt that I wore tonight. Melissa Jean, thank you very much.
It's cute.
Good taste.
I know, thank you. Well, we talked about the Pirates Basket Quest for Key West. If you guys joined us last January 13th through 15th, we did the Pirates and Parrot Heads Party in Paradise cruise on the Margaritaville at Sea. We're scheduling to do it again this year, January 12th through 14th. There will be some stuff coming out soon as we finalize all the details. But I'm working on a really cool new event to take place, the scene of the crime at Coconut Cove in Isla Mirada. We're looking at doing a music-themed event with some local artists such as John McDonald. I've talked to Jesse Rice. I've talked to local artist, singer-songwriter Ricky Young, plays at Tiki 52 a couple times a week. I got my boys from Tropically Impaired as a sponsor. We're going to be doing a music-themed event in Islamorada at Coconut Cove. Don't have a date yet. We're going to be doing it 2 to 4 times a year. It's going to be a weekend with a certain artist, and it's going to ticket price going to include a party Friday night with like a 1-hour welcome set by the artist. It's going to include like burgers and some beer and stuff Friday night. So you get a little private show, meet and greet Friday night with the artist. I'm talking to John McDonald, Jesse Rice, Ricky Young, my buddy Anthony James, and also legendary songwriter Dean Dillon that wrote every #1 song George Strait pretty much ever recorded. He co-wrote Tennessee Whiskey. Talking to Dean Dillon, who's a legend. And the event basically starts on a Friday. It includes food, drinks, little meet and greet, and then Saturday we do a pool party that includes grilled hot dogs, keg beer, wine, and then the main party takes place Saturday night, where it's going to include a shrimp boil, which I'm famous for, and once again food and drinks with the artist doing a full set that Saturday night. But Saturday's pool party is going to be a Tropically Impaired pool party, Escape to Paradise, and with frozen T-shirt contest, hula hoop contest, all the things you've ever wanted in a pool party is going to happen in Islamorada that Saturday. So I don't have any dates yet, but I've got some artists singled out that I want to do. I want to do this event 3 to 4 times a year. It's going to be a weekend with some of your favorite singer-songwriters, and it's going to be an awesome event. So working out the details, so stay tuned. Working on a new website, CaptainRingo.com. It's going to have all these events on it. I'm excited about it, and there will be rum.
Imagine that.
Yes.
There's a pattern once again.
Nice. Very good.
Thank you very much.
What about you, John? Any shameless plugs here?
Hey, well, I'll tell you what. If you're down around the east coast of Florida, you know we're on the kind of the treasure coast at the moment, up on the space coast. So I get a whole bunch of places I play, but I'm really looking forward to. We're going to be doing a big New Year's Eve celebration this year. We're going to trop rock in the New Year weekend, and I think we're going to call it the Bongo Drop.
The Bongo Drop. I love it.
That was a bunch of friends suggested that. We're going to get, we're not going to drop real bongos. Well, just the cheap plastic kind, but we're going to drop something.
I only came for the bongos.
That's right. You can only come for the bongos, but so
that's a John McDonald song, just so you know.
Yes, indeed. Yep. She only came for the bongos, of course. And then, we're going to trop rock in the New Year weekend. So, we can contact, well, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to make life easy. Contact Donna. Because she'll know exactly, Donna. Sweetie, I'm the artistic type. She's the organizational type. And she's on it, and she knows exactly what she's doing. It's good to have that balance in your life,
So
track us down on Facebook, social media, johnmcdonaldmusic.com. And then, but hey, so Margaritaville at Sea sounds good in January. In February, I'm going out. We're doing Rock the Caribbean 2. I did it last year with my good friends, the Highway 1 Band, up in Melbourne. And we're going out in mid-February on the Norwegian Cruise Line. So if you need a break from the winter and you're in New England, the Mid-Atlantic, the Midwest, think about it. It's fun. We're doing the Western Caribbean in February. So those are the real highlights coming up in the next 6 months for me, along with, once again, Riverfest in Jacksonville. Apparently it's sold out, but Ringo and I are going to be hanging out, and I'm going to have him watch my Yeti drink dispenser so it doesn't get lost on the boat.
He goes, you find my drink?
Or under your arm.
Thank you, everybody. Boy, what's fun. Thank you, Brad. Jordan.
My pleasure.
Captain, thank you.
Jordan,
Thank you for coming.
Any shameless plugs, Jordy?
No, sir.
All right. I'm just going to very quickly go through a couple here. Of course, thank you to our continued sponsors and partners at CODE Rum, the Sneaky Tiki in downtown Stewart, who Darren was just at my show last night. It's always great to see Darren. And, of course, we had the Heathers on, 2 great bartenders from there just a few weeks ago. So Paul from the Drums and Rums, better late than pregnant, Paul. He just tuning in over there on YouTube, chiming in.
Is he pregnant again?
Pregnant with possibility.
It happens.
Paul, check out his podcast, Drums and Rums. And, of course, our friends at the Bug Juice, Tim and Jess. The Bug Juice is a wonderful insect repellent, and it's all natural and really, really quite nice. So
great insect repellent.
I swear by it. It's unbelievable. And I don't just say that because they're my friends, but it actually works.
I did. No,
it's a good product.
It is good.
Oh, Paul said he was commenting early. I can't read all the comments, Paul. You know how this goes.
And Paul's a slow typer.
And Jordan's just been slacking. She usually tells me about these things.
I just message them.
Of course, if you're watching this live, join me tomorrow night in Fort Pierce at the Manatee Island for my one-man band show that kicks off at 5:30. And more importantly than anything else that I've mentioned here, if you like what we do and you want to help fund some of our bad habits, you can. You can find our Patreon link on our website, jnclive.tv. It's a little red button that says Become a Patron. And you can sign up. It's just $5 a month, and it really actually helps out. It adds up and helps us recoup some of the costs of our nonsense, like building an axe-throwing target and putting Jordan in a dunk tank for her birthday. That was fun. So a huge thank you to all of our current Patreon members and to our future ones. We hope that you get out there and help us out. Nobody's getting rich off of this, but we do like to get Jordan wet. That's
wink.
That's that. All right, you guys. I hope y'all enjoyed the show tonight. Give it up for our special guests, John McDonald and Johnny Ringo.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much, Brad. Thank you.
Thank you, and of course, Miss Jordan Taylor, hanging out there. Join us again next week, August 30th. Coincidentally, it's National Beach Day next Wednesday. How about that? Yeah. So, in the spirit of John McDonald, beach more, worry less. Broadcasting live from the legendary JNC Lounge. I'm Brad Brock. We love you. Good night.
Oh, I'm amazed. I'll pick this song in the light.